Hello everyone, this is Nele for the girl with the curly hair speaking, and today I want to talk to you about when people tell you that you don't look autistic or you don't act autistic or that your child doesn't look or act autistic. Mind you, this video has less of a psychoeducational value as the others and is more of a rant going on. I think most people on the spectrum at some point or other have heard that they don't look autistic, or they don't behave autistic, or they don't act autistic. Or people will tell them, but you don't seem autistic to me. And I'm here to tell you to please stop saying that to people. It is incredibly hurtful and completely devaluating and makes you feel so small. I doubt people realize the impact those words have on someone, so I'm going to try and explain this to you before you say to someone that they don't look autistic or act autistic or behave autistic. I'm a bit of an oddball on the autistic spectrum. I have all the sensory issues horribly. I'm not too good with social interactions and maintaining them, as I don't know what to say or how to say it. And I usually give way too much information early on in the conversation. I don't always make eye contact and things like that. I'm just very awkward. But on the same time, I know how to speak. And this, for a lot of people, is an excuse to tell me that I'm not autistic because I'm verbally quite strong. When people tell me that I don't look autistic or I don't act or behave autistic, I know that they mean well. I know what they're trying to say is, but I think you can function really well. Or you shouldn't feel sorry for yourself because I feel you're not very autistic, and autism for me is a bad thing. So that's what they're saying is like, it's not really that bad for you. How it comes across for me is entirely different. When someone tells me, but you don't really act autistic, and then I'm wondering like, how do you know? How on earth could you possibly know? Yes, we have the DSM. And the DSM, for those people who do not know what it is a sort of manual where a whole number of psychiatric disabilities are listed with the symptoms you have to have that specific disability, including autism. And yes, that states a number of symptoms that you have to have. But those symptoms can vary so much from one person to another that you really can't use that to tell someone, you don't look autistic. What does that mean? I don't look autistic. I'm sorry. What kind of a behavior did you expect? Just tell me what kind of behavior you expected for someone who is autistic. Do you want me to stim? Do you want me to flap my hands, hum? Do you want me to make no eye contact at all? Or do you want me to not speak at all? What is that autistic behavior? And that's just one of the questions that I ask myself, because you get so diminished when people tell you you don't look autistic or you don't act autistic. And all your problems are just so devaluated and become so minimal. And it feels like they don't exist at all, while in fact they're massive for you. When people tell me you don't look autistic, you don't act autistic, I feel like my sensory issues are not important. I feel that my sense of not belonging is not important. I feel that the need that I have to have friends, but not being able to make friends and maintain social relationships is not important. And that is such a huge part of me that becomes not important because I don't look autistic. And that's extremely hurtful. And I know people mean well. Don't get me wrong. I know people mean well. Why do people mean well? Is that when people, the general public, thinks of autism, they think of Rain Man. You know, you drop marbles on the floor and they instantly can count how many there are. But this is also very stereotypical. They think of other stereotypes, like people who are constantly rocking back and forth, non-verbal, non-eye contact, very locked into themselves. Earlier on, I read an article that compared this society to autistic people who are very locked into themselves and have no connection with anyone. That hurts, you know? That's the image people have from autism. And I'm sorry I don't fit that image. No, wait, I'm not sorry I don't fit that image. But I'm sorry that you think there's an image that I need to fit in. You don't tell people who have cancer, but you don't look like sick. You don't look sick. You don't look like you have cancer. You don't do that because it's considered to be rude and unacceptable socially. And even though they may be in stages of treatment and they look pretty healthy, you still don't say that. It's not done. So why is it done with people who have mental disabilities? Why is it okay to say to someone who's bipolar, oh, but you look pretty normal? You devaluate that person completely and everything they are, because what they are and what we are is very real to us. I am autistic. I am my sensory processing disorder. I am my delayed emotional processing. I am delayed information processing. I am a social misfit. I'm queen of awkwardness. I don't know what to say, how to say. I hate phone calls. And when you tell me that I don't act autistic, you wipe all of my problems away as if they were nothing. Well, in fact, there's so much to me. I hope, honestly, that people who are not on the spectrum or do not have any type of mental disability or have a chronic invisible disease, like Ehlers-Danlos, for example, that you stop judging. Stop judging according to what you deem is okay. Stop judging to what you deem needs to fit to a certain label. Because I know, just as much as any other adult on the autistic spectrum or any mom or dad from a child with autism, that a label is just a name. We're all very unique. I'm extrovert, I can talk. My dad, when someone talks to him, goes really silent. My dad doesn't mind people around him. I mind people around me. You know, I know other people. Alice doesn't really like the scent of bananas or oranges. I mean, I like bananas. It's so very different and we're all so very unique. And yes, we may have sensory processing disorder, but it's such a wide variety of how we experience that. We may not be able to express our words as well as we'd like to, but there's such wide variety of that. We may not be able to recognize and express our emotions the way that we would like to, but there's, again, such a wide variety of that. There's a whole continent to be explored. It's an adventure when you dive into someone with a mental disability, to dive in their minds and explore it. Don't assume that you know what it is to have a mental disability when you have not. Don't assume that you know what it means to be autistic when all you've done is read up on it and read the symptoms. That doesn't make you the expert. That doesn't give you the right to tell people what they are or what they aren't. And that is very important, because no one should ever tell someone that they don't look sick, they don't look autistic, they don't look depressed. You have so much to live for, but you look healthy. But can't you just get out more? Those things are very hurtful, and they will leave scars on people. So please keep this in mind, that when you meet someone who is autistic, who has any other sort of mental disability, who has a chronic illness that is invisible, who suffers from depression or anything else, don't assume, just because you heard of the label, that you know the person. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye.